Gentlemen, our second game this evening features the St. Louis U-High Junior Billikens and the DeSmet Spartans. This game will decide the 2018-2019 Mid-States High School champion and the winner of the 48th St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup. DeSmet finished third in the Municipal Conference with a regular season record of 13-5-3. Entered the Challenge Cup as the number 3 seed in the tournament and earned a trip to the finals by defeating Chaminade in the Challenge Cup semifinals. Now let's meet the players and coaches of the DeSmet Spartans. Starting in goal this evening for the Spartans, wearing number 1, Jakob Dobes. Starting at forward and wearing number 2, Jack Estes. Number 5 for the Junior Billikens, defenseman Thomas Kampmeinert. Number 8, forward Tyler Lockman. Number 10, forward Kelly Coldwater. Wearing number 12 for SLUH forward, Carson Wilhelm. Number 13, defenseman Vito Viando III. Wearing number 15, forward, Benjamin Lodis. Starting at D and wearing number 19, Joshua Abel. Number 21 for SLUH forward, Brendan Kemp. Wearing number 23 for DeSmet. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Wearing number 23 and starting at forward, Daniel Kinzel. Wearing number 29 and starting at forward for DeSmet, Colton Walpert. Number 31, goaltender Daniel Carr. Number 67, Ryan Brickhouse, defenseman. Wearing number 71 for the Spartans, forward, Jed England. Number 77, defenseman Kyle Brock. Wearing number 84, forward, Connor Clancy. Number 89, forward, Cameron Olstick. Starting at forward and wearing number 91, Michael Mullen. And wearing number 95, forward, Jacob Couch. All right, let's go over to the DeSmet Spartans bench. We have the scratch players. Let me introduce them to you. Wearing number 16, Jack Walters. Number 18, James Wiley. Number 22, Justin Reynolds. Number 25, Max Minkowitz. 27, Tyson Davenport. Number 35, Harrison Brown. Number 37, Jonah Watkins. Number 43, Thomas Denault. Number 81, Thomas DiMaggio. And number 85, Grant Allheim. Your DeSmet Spartans head coach is Mr. Chris Durso. His assistants, Casey Ott, Nick Blaze, and Luke Venker. And now, SLUH finished first in the Municipal Conference with an overall record of 7-2-1. Entered the Challenge Cup tournament as the #1 seed and advanced to the finals with wins over Kirkwood in the Challenge Cup semifinals. Now, let's meet the SLUH players and coaches. Wearing number 1 for the Junior Billikens, goaltender Dylan Bach. Number 4, defenseman Mario DiMaggio. Number 5, forward Jack Hazelton. Wearing number 6 and starting on D, Rob Lockwood. Number 7 for SLUH, forward Gus Heighthouse. Wearing number 9, defenseman Andrew Chablot. Starting at forward and wearing number 10, team captain Henry Wagner. Number 11, forward Ian Carden. Wearing number 16, Trent White, defenseman. Starting at D, alternate captain, number 17, Justin Jacoby. Starting at forward and wearing number 19, Patrick Samancic. Number 21 for SLUH, forward Nathan Paulo. Wearing number 23, forward Matthew Warnicki. Forward, wearing number 24, Alexander Bevel. Number 25, forward, Trey Lyons. Number 27 for SLUH, forward, Ryan Spinner. Starting at forward, he's an alternate captain and wearing number 28, Gabriel Schwartz. Number 29, forward, Abe Lieberman. Starting in goal and wearing number 31, Brendan Rash. And wearing number 39 for SLUH, forward, John Loretta. Now let's go to the SLUH bench for our non-dressed players. Number 2, Gus Winter. Number 8, TJ Thomas. Number 18, Carson Massey. Number 20, Preston Johnson. Number 22, Tyler Lindhorst. Number 26, Nolan Meyer. Number 30, goaltender Cole Jansky. Number 36, John Pinkowski. And number 14 is battling the flu tonight. He couldn't even be here. They asked me to mention him, Billy Wagner. Get well, Billy. The Junior Billikens head coach is a St. Louis Amateur Hockey Hall of Fame member, my man Jack Bean. His assistants are Steve Walters, Alex Effinger, Luke Venker, and Barkley Berner. Your officials for tonight's game are, your referees will be Patrick Callahan and Andy Bethman. Our linesmen this evening, Craig Neal and Brian Bextermuller. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of our national anthem. Our anthem is presented this evening by U.S. Army National Guard Staff Sergeant, Mr. Charles Davidson.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the
And welcome back into the Enterprise Center, ladies and gentlemen, for the Challenge Cup. It's the SLUH Junior Billikens and the DeSmet Spartans up in the booth. I'm Patrick Kelly alongside Jamie Rivers, Andy Strickland down between the benches. And gentlemen, a huge game. SLUH looking for their third championship, but they're going to be met by Jacob Dobis.
Yeah, he's a huge part of the DeSmet team. He's had some big games for them throughout the playoffs and some huge games in the semifinals. And Andy, you know him very well as well from his time with the AAA Blues organization. Prime candidate to be playing junior hockey next year, either in the NAHL or the USHL.
Yeah, he just passes the eye test when you watch him play. Just his movements, his size stands out when you look at him, and he just looks like a goaltender, and he's going to be tested on the other side. SLUH has a lot of ability offensively. They come at you with speed. They come at you in waves. And Henry Wagner, maybe the most talented offensive player in the entire league, he's ready to end his high school career with a championship. He got a ring last year, didn't score in the game. Expect him to have a big performance. Expect him to be a big key for DeSmet to shut down.
As we are underway here for the Challenge Cup, DeSmet and SLUH. As it starts at center, DeSmet tries to chip it in and keep it in SLUH's zone, but they're able to clear it out, and they start their way into the DeSmet end. A shot taken, a good block, and now cutting towards the middle of Simonsic, a good shot, and a better save by Dobis. Now back at the point, a long lead shot tipped on its way through, and it goes wide. A great pace so far here as a pass gets intercepted by DeSmet. Moving forward is Colton Walpert. Walpert trying to get around to the fence. He's knocked off the puck, and it'll be bounced off the boards back to center and sent right back in.
And that's a good first shift by SLUH. Get in the offensive zone. They had some traffic in front of Dobis. Dobis made a big save.
And now SLUH breaking in, a long shot taken by Lyons. That missed wide, and then it goes offsides as SLUH could not hold the far side blue line.
Wow, what a pace here so far, gentlemen. Like Andy said, SLUH comes out firing right away. DeSmet goalie Dobis gets challenged early with a couple of plays here, but I love the pace that we have right now. Love the energy in the building. You can tell it's championship night here in St. Louis.
SLUH wins the neutral zone draw, sends it in. Dobis out of his net to play it as Kampminer able to win it to this near side, trying to push it forward. Nice job holding the line briefly by Hazelton, but now SLUH regains possession and heads right back in. Dobis out of his net, wins it to the near side. At the point, a long shot taken by Hazelton, blocked by his stick. That's SLUH still pressuring now in the slot. A shot taken, this time by Warnecki. And it goes off the boards, picked up by DeSmet off the boards, and down into the SLUH end. Quickly heading back up is Mario DiMaggio. He'll take it himself. On the backhand, breaks in the shot. And it goes off of Dobis and wide. It's now DeSmet pressuring. Going on the backhand, moving in is Ostick. And that goes off the glass into the corner. DeSmet able to stay with it. Ostick going after Heithaus. Heithaus loses it, and now DeSmet pressuring, and then SLUH taking it right back.
A little bit of a change to the lineup here for DeSmet. Justin Reynolds, their captain, he will not play. Suffered a grade 3 separation of his shoulder. So Jack Estes, he's played forward all season except for the final period of the semifinal against Chaminade. He slides back. He's playing defense tonight for DeSmet.
DeSmet holds the line. A long wrist shot tipped on its way through, and it's handled by Rash. Now to the near side point. Long shot taken by Estes. But that goes deflected off of Rash and wide. Is now DeSmet able to grab possession. They're back, and tripped up was Colton Walpert, but he was able to clear it in. No calls. We stay 5-on-5. DeSmet trying to work in their end. They lose it. DeSmet the turnover. Weird angle shot trying to look towards the middle as Mullen was in front. But it's pushed forward by SLUH and out of the zone. Quick turnaround as they try and catch him on a change. Heading in, a long shot taken by Daniel Kinzel, and Rash will hold on with 11:46 left in the first.
A good bounce back there by DeSmet, creating some chances offensively, testing the goalie early for SLUH. Brendan Rash is going to have to be sharp as DeSmet has some snipers in their lineup, and one of them right here, Jed England, lining up for the face-off. Great young player, great head on his shoulders, and he'll be playing with Tyler Lockman, who works really, really hard, gentlemen.
Alexander Baville able to win that, clears it out briefly, then DeSmet trying to knock it off the boards in. Loose puck pushed forward by Lockman, and SLUH has it in their own end off the boards. They lose it right back to the DeSmet defense. Now Lewis at the blue line, delayed offsides briefly, and then DeSmet takes it right back, but it still goes back and forth. Now popped up in the air. That's going to go down on a hand pass.
Yeah, that'll be a hand pass there. You see the aggressiveness from SLUH in the neutral zone. Vito Biondo, just a freshman. Obviously a big stage for him. You can't be afraid to use the boards. Trying to force passes up the middle of the ice can only cause trouble. And again, SLUH, they've got the experience, just like the Smet. They were here last year. But it's interesting. You look at SLUH's roster, guys, only 5 players returning in the lineup tonight for the Junior Billikens who played in this game a year ago.
Smet wins the neutral zone draw. Blowing a tire was the Spartan defenseman, but it's going to be cleared in by Allstick. Back to get it was DiMaggio. He was able to push it to the far side boards and then kicked forward by SLUH, but it's going to go right back to the Spartans. Trying to find Allstick. Taken back by SLUH and dumped into the Spartan end. But a long lead pass trying to find Wilhelm's going to be knocked off the stick. And then DeSmet tried to move it up the glass, but it's going to be cleared out of play.
You know, if you look at these lineups, guys, they're very deep. And, you know, they've got a lot of really great players that are going to make this game up tonight. And some great coaching staffs as well. I mean, you just look top to bottom here. This is truly the clash of the Titans here tonight, Andy.
Absolutely, and it's good to see Gabriel Schwartz. He's taking the face-off here for SLUH. He suffered a very serious cut to his wrist in a playoff game against MICDS. He hasn't played a game since then. He's missed the last 4. You know, he's excited to be out here as a senior.
And SLUH pressuring in the DeSmet end, grabbing it is Simonsik in the corner, tries to feed it up to the point for Lockwood, but it just sneaks past his blade and all the way down. Nice wrist shot by Rash to move it up the boards and quickly out of the zone as it goes back to Simonsik. In on goal, Simonsik cuts the outside and knocked off the puck briefly. Regains possession at the point, a shot by Lockwood, and that goes wide as there was a lot of bodies in front. And DeSmet able to get it out.
I like the energy that Simonsik has come out with. He's a big game player. He scored big goals in this game a year ago. He scored some big goals in the playoffs as well this year.
Spinning around in his own end is Kent Meinert. Looked for a pass I believe was intended for England, but it's going to go all the way down for an icing.
Yeah, Andy, you talk about the return of Gabe Schwartz, and you know, that really provides SLUH with even better depth than I was just talking about. You know, Matt Warnicki, who's a great player, had been slotted on that line, but now with the return of Gabe Schwartz, they're able to drop Warnicki down to the second line, playing with Alex Bevel and Trey Lyons. So creating good depth indeed by bringing that guy back in the lineup.
And there's a good face-off win, a shot from Hazelton. Dobis is able to handle that, but getting back to Schwartz, he had to have nerve replacement surgery 4 weeks ago, guys. He wasn't sure if he was going to play in this game, and obviously had to rehab hard to get back in it. And, you know, he's excited to be out here and probably a little bit ahead of schedule in terms of his rehab.
DeSmet works up the boards. Nice feed, trying to find Abel into the zone. A backhand shot and touched by Rash, but it goes wide. Smet able to get on that rebound. Heighthouse. Couple passes, able to find Paulo. Gets into the zone, then knocked off the puck. And it's going to go back to the SLUH defense at their own blue line. Slam back in. Dobis out of his net again to play it. Now under some pressure, DeSmet, nice quick pass off the boards, but it's going to be intercepted by the Junior Billikens and sent right back in. Kent Meinert moving up the boards, trying to find Kausch. And it goes right back to Thomas Kent Meinert. Fed up the boards again, this time intercepted by DiMaggio. Then a loose puck's going to be grabbed by Lyons. He's in on a breakaway, the backhander, and a big save by Dobis. SLUH still pressuring. Moving in is Baval. Cuts it around now to the far side, trying to cut it to the defense. But the Spartans will meet them there. And now a loose puck in the slot's going to be picked right back up by SLUH. A backhand attempt by Trey Lyons goes wide. And they keep it in. DeSmet not able to get it out. SLUH still pressuring, and then DeSmet can't push it out. As it's Baval staying with it. Long shot taken, that hit a body. That was a Billiken in front, but it deflected wide. Now back at the point, a long shot taken, blocked in front by Kent Meinert. Finally, DeSmet clears it up, but they're right back in. Here comes Henry Wagner, a wrist shot, and that missed everything wide. Now on the far side boards, DeSmet finally able to clear it out. But SLUH, a quick transition right back in. Nice move by Lockwood in front. Dobis made one save, and then able to clear it out was the DeSmet defense, where it's Abel taking it and losing it right back to SLUH, and then they come back in. Wagner waits in front, the shot saved by Dobis, and then the net gets knocked off barely, and a huge break for the Spartans.
Wow, I'll tell you what, that's a great display of goaltending there by Dobis, but the Alex Bevel line created some momentum, and that led right back into the Wagner, Schwartz, and Simoncic line coming back here. They've really tilted the ice here with that last shift.
Well, you see the patience there from Wagner. Look at him hold on to it. Look, he fanned down it at first, tried to hit Schwartz, but then finds the trailing Simoncic, who couldn't get it past Lotus, who takes up so much of the net. He's so big, guys.
Almost a giveaway in front. Good play by Dobis to knock that back behind the net. Now in the neutral zone. Good play by the Spartans to try and push it forward, but it's going to go back to Jack Estes. Estes tried a cross-ice pass, intercepted. Here comes SLUH back into the zone. It's Paulo. Tried to take a shot that was blocked. Now into the corner. A big hit as Lockman sends him down to the ground. Pass fed upwards, trying to find Daniel Kinzel, and he's knocked off the puck as he enters the SLUH zone. And taken right back by the Junior Billikens, who send it into the DeSmet end. Possession going back and forth. Here is the loose puck grabbed by England. And taken right back by SLUH, and then slammed behind the net. And the Spartans cycling behind their own net, trying to push it forward was England. It's going to be smacked right back behind the DeSmet net. He's now trying to work up the far side boards. A slow pass up to England, and then England able to find Lotus. Waits, England, the pass just a bit too far behind him. And DeSmet tries to send it over to this near side, but it's going to be taken back by SLUH and picked up by Simoncic, who gets his pocket picked by Tyler Lockman. Now Lockman with some speed down the right wing. He's hit hard and knocked off the puck, but here comes DeSmet trying to knock that puck away, but SLUH's able to stay with it. In the neutral zone. Can't clear it in. Here comes DeSmet. Billy Wagner in. He loses it. And then kept with it by SLUH. And they head into the corner with it. Now behind the net. Grabbing it is Abel. Pushes it to the far side. Kosh. Can't push it out quite yet. Loose in the slot. Simoncic tried a shot. Now he'll take a wrist shot, and he scores! Patrick Simoncic backs up in a beautiful wrist shot. SLUH leads 1-0.
Well, right there, Andy, you're talking about the big game goals by Simoncic, and he comes up with one there. Kind of whiffs on the first little attempt, and that may have thrown Dobis off just a little bit, but Henry Wagner right in front, as we see on the replay here, a little bit of a whiff, kind of refocuses it and puts it back up there. Wagner doesn't get a piece of it, but he's right in front of the net on that one.
Yeah, and again, I mentioned the big game ability that he's shown over the course of his high school career. But right now, guys, SLUH just looks like the quicker team. They've had the better of the chances. They look faster. Their passing is better. They've had the majority of the chances as well. Managing the puck is going to be huge for DeSmet. I know Chris Durso can't be happy with the turnovers we've seen thus far in DeSmet's own end here in the early going. They're going to have to be better.
SLUH pressuring briefly again, but here comes DeSmet the other way. As Patrick Simoncic in the semis in game 2 versus Kirkwood, 2 goals and an assist, and he gets the first one tonight. As we have a whistle.
Yeah, Andy, you know what? I agree with your assessment. You know, the DeSmet team right now, they're looking for that fancy play sometimes, you know, through the middle of the ice or making that more difficult play. And SLUH right now, they're just feeding off of that. They're knocking pucks down and turning the other way. So Coach Durso is going to want his team to simplify the game, move it up the walls, and get their chances and get a rhythm going here.
Smet with possession in the neutral zone, a touch forward, able to find Lotus. Lotus goes to the outside, spin down, and that's going to be a penalty on SLUH, and we will have our first minor of the game against the Junior Billikens.
And that's going to be Hazelton who's going off. Looks like he just kind of twisted Lotus around. Lotus, the second of two brothers to come through the DeSmet program. He's got some offensive ability as well, and Hazelton just looks like he just kind of grabbed a hold of him. Huge opportunity here for DeSmet as you see Lotus coming in, and you know, Jamie, as you know, once you take one hand off the stick and you grab the player from behind, easy call for the official.
Yeah, and he was coming with a lot of good speed there too, and that sometimes puts a defenseman on their heels, and then they have to reach out like he just did, and it costs them with a 2-minute penalty. So we'll see if DeSmet here can get the wheels turning on the power play, gentlemen.
As they break into the zone, cutting to the outside is Kinzel, drops it back to the point. Near side, Jack Estes takes a shot, backhand in front, big save by Rash off a beautiful backhand from Thomas Kampmeiners.
I really like the design of that play, guys. You know, they've got Kampmeiner right in front of the net. Is a big body. They move the puck up top, side to side, go D to D. You have two forwards right now, essentially playing the point. Although Estes is, playing defense tonight, but he's a regular forward. I like that. They're giving a different looks out there, and right now SLUH is not identifying that guy in the middle.
Yeah, I like it as well. Kampminer, like you said, he's normally in front of his own net, not in front of the net in the offensive end, but he is a big body, tough to contain.
Some loose puck picked up by SLUH, and they're on end. They push forward with it 2-on-2 the other way, but a collision at the blue line backs SLUH off a bit, and Benjamin Lotus will wait behind his own net. Pushing it up the boards, and now DeSmet heads in, takes a shot, and Rash just easily gloves that and holds on.
Yeah, DeSmet's going to look here to create more opportunities. They got their second unit coming out. They're going to be buzzing out there. Tyler Lockman is a kid who really gets buzzing. He'll create pressure. He'll create havoc in front of the net. Colt Walpert, a forward, now back on defense. He's got a lot of high-end skill, and look to find him as the quarterback out here.
Defensive zone draw won by SLUH rather, but they can't get it out of their own zone. It's behind the net now for Tyler Lockman. On the backhand, knocked down, able to win it forward. Wilhelm gets it back, one-time shot by Abel, and Rash once again swallows that.
And that's the right idea for DeSmet. No hesitation there, just getting pucks through and testing Brendan Rash, who has some experience. Again, he's a senior. 8-1 during the course of the regular season, a 95% save percentage in the playoffs. He's been even better. A .962 save percentage. He's 4-1, 0.60 goals against average. He's been lights out for SLUH.
Loose puck right at the blue line, barely kept in by Estes. Now he moves forward, loose in the slot, shot taken by Lotus, and that might have gone off a Rash, but went wide. DeSmet at center, quickly trying to head back in. Benjamin Lotus sends it off the boards and in. First to get there will be Mario DiMaggio, and he'll just lift it all the way down with just 20 seconds left on the SLUH minor. As they wait to reconvene, just 10 seconds left, and now they'll push forward with it. And Estes cutting to the left and then sends it cross ice off the corner. Grabbed by Bob Lockwood. Lockwood works up the boards, and out of the box is Hazelton. He's able to move that to center. Hazelton got the pass over. Now they push it into the zone, and the Spartans will get there first as SLUH makes some changes. Quick spin around by Abel. Abel tried to move it forward, but it's going to get his stick lifted by Billiken. And then the Billikens knock it off the boards and all the way down. And that's going to be an icing.
Unbelievable atmosphere here at ice level at Enterprise Center. As usual, DeSmet brings the entire student body, and there may not be any better fan base in the entire league than what St. Louis University High brings each and every year. I mean, they just pack the house and bring the energy. So much fun when these two teams get together.
Yeah, it's always great to see so many people in attendance, and especially so many young people with all their energy. That's what makes these high school games special, and certainly championship games. These kids remember this for their entire lifetime.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And it's so great that the Blues allow the two teams to play down here. We're streaming on the Blues Facebook page, on their Twitter account, and of course on their YouTube channel as well. So it's great to be with you, and obviously great to have the support of the St. Louis Blues.
DeSmet pressure in front, a shot taken and a blocker saved by Rash. No rebound as SLUH clears off the glass down. Big speed by Schwartz, able to take it away briefly, then DeSmet defense able to grab it right back. Knocked off the near side glass. SLUH takes possession. Long pass at the red line, going to be intercepted by Mullen. Now Kampminer takes a pass that's deflected by Henry Wagner. Then Wagner threw it in front, but Simoncic was right next to him. So here comes DeSmet. Cutting in is Walpert. Walpert tied up, but right behind him, it's a chance taken by Kinzel. But Rash is able to hold on both times.
Tell you what, the junior Bills are going to have to make sure they keep an eye on Colton Walpert and Daniel Kinzel. Those guys are tricky little players, and if you don't pay attention, they get behind you. And as we see here on the replay, they're greasy out there. They're in all over the puck. They're getting their first and second chances, and that was Michael Mullen, who's part of that line as well, with a chance on net.
Defensive zone draw won by SLUH. They're back in their own end with 1 minute left as it's Hazelton under some pressure but able to clear the zone, but then DeSmet taking it right back. Kausch throws it back in. Kausch gets it to Ostick, and he has a backhander that gets deflected. Now off the back of the net, and they hack away at it, but that's going to be a whistle. It's something they're not used to. Now that they have NHL nets, they have that little protection there, so it's not as easy to knock off the back of the net. We had one stoppage back in the Wickenheiser Cup because of that.
Yeah, pucks get stuck back there, and then it's not like the old times where you just used to whack the net and the puck comes flying back out. It gets stuck in there a little bit, so a little bit of a challenge.
Smet able to win the draw in the neutral zone, trying to feed it forward to Mullen, but that goes high up in the air and settled by Lyons. Trey Lyons comes in, a wrist shot handled by Dobis with the glove.
Not a bad idea. I mean, never a bad idea to shoot the puck. It's gonna be tough to cut the angle there, and again, you want to keep throwing pucks on Lotus, or Dobis, I should say, and they got a Dobis and a Lotus on DeSmet, but Dobis makes the save there, and he's gonna make that save probably 10 out of 10 times, but if you're SLUH, never hesitate to put a puck on net, especially in that situation. Now you get a chance to win an offensive zone faceoff.
Offensive zone draw one back by SLUH. To Wagner, the Yale Bulldog commit took a wrist shot that just went wide. Now rebound by Kampminer, or rather Hazelton, that goes wide. And a long shot taken, that got deflected. Wagner, a very dangerous shot held by the left pad of Dobis.
You gotta love the set play there off the face-off win from Lockwood over to Wagner, well executed.
It's just thrown in by DeSmet, and that will end the period as holding on to that was Rash, but a great back and forth. Both teams having some huge chances early on.
Yeah, and you see that last play there for the Junior Bills, just putting the puck on net like Andy mentioned, and that one glanced off DeSmet's defenseman, and Dobis had to kick out the left leg there, and thank goodness he has reflexes like a cat out there, or it could be 2-0, and sometimes, Andy, as you know, those late goals in a period, they can crush you.
They certainly can. If all you have to do is watch the St. Louis Blues on the last West Coast trip. They had a number of those late period goals, and that momentum can carry on from one period to the next and even to the next game as well. But I really like the way that SLUH played the first half of that period. They came in with a lot of speed, a ton of energy, and they just certainly took it to DeSmet, who was turning pucks over in their own end. DeSmet weathered the storm, there's no doubt. And being down by just a goal after the first period, they're in a pretty good situation. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, you know, all things considered, they generated some shots on net towards the Junior Bills, and the score is 1-0, and it was a great little wrist shot by Simoncic. But, you know, the big story here has been Jacob Dobas making some of these big saves. He's, you know, he's been called upon already several times to make huge saves, including a breakaway on one play.
Yeah, he had the breakaway save, he had the deflection there, and again, you see his quick cat-like reflexes, and then this is Simoncic, who had 2 goals and an assist in the last semifinal game. You know, last year on this game, guys, when he was playing in this game against DeSmet, he started the game on the 4th line, scored a big shorthanded goal, also had an assist, and by the end of the game, they had moved him all the way up to the top line. So he obviously has a lot of trust from head coach Jack Bean, who does a great job with this group. You got to give him a lot of credit for how he handles this team. They got a lot of talent, there's no doubt, but they also play the right way, and we saw a lot of that in the first period.
Yeah, I agree, and I think you have to mention that both programs, guys, they have great coaching staffs who dedicate a ton of time to these kids, and they're doing a fantastic job of developing great young hockey players out of St. Louis. So hats off to these guys. They're 2 of the best in mid-states hockey as far as coaching staffs go, and obviously it's evident that both of their teams are here in the championship.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And we're seeing a lot of talent, not only with the upperclassmen, we talked about the seniors like Henry Wagner. There's some really good freshmen in this game as well. We saw it in the first game with the Wickenheiser Cup, but there's so much talent in St. Louis that continues to come up.
The SLUH wins the opening draw for the 2nd period and sends it into the Smet end as Estes working up the boards. Backhanded by Kinzel forward, and it's going to be a race for it. Walpert has a man in front, but that's going to be an icing as he could not get there in time.
Wow, weird play there. And it looked like that would be waved off, but the referee's making the right call. Walpert maybe could have gave an extra little push there, Andy, to try and get that, although I don't know if he actually thought it was icing.
Yeah, the referee, the linesman was in pretty good position there to make the call, and I think he made the right one.
Estes behind his own net, tries to clear it out unsuccessfully. SLUH threw it towards the net, got deflected wide, and then kept in by the junior Billikens. Simoncic down for Henry Wagner, sends it in front looking for Gabe Schwartz, but DeSmet able to weather the storm and move it out. Back off the boards by SLUH. This time it'll be a icing on them. The game slowed down just a bit to start this 2nd period.
Well, I'll tell you what, the junior Bills right now are able to be extremely aggressive. Their D are closing off the DeSmet forwards, and the reason that's happening is because DeSmet is creating, they're turning the puck over so much. So it's really not causing much of a risk for the SLUH players. They're going to have to simplify this game to get around that pressure, Andy.
Offensive zone draw by DeSmet as it was sent in front. The one-timer by Jed England. Didn't get all of that, and it's easily gloved by Brendan Rath.
And DeSmet likes to grind it down low. Get the puck below the circles, generate their offense that way. They want to tire down SLUH's defense, which is so good transitioning the puck. I mean, that's their game. They want to slow down the Billikens. They know they can't win or compete in a track meet against a team that can skate as well as St. Louis University High.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, Coach Durso, he knows that too. He's going to try and get these guys to work the cycle down low and get some pucks to the net and have some bodies in front. And this is a great line to do it right now. I really like the Lotus, Englund, and Lockman line.
DeSmet was pressuring, but the SLUH able to lift it out of the zone into the Spartans' end. Poked forward out of the zone. Good play by England. Able to push it forward briefly, but the junior Billikens have possession as it's backhanded in by Bevol. DeSmet now trying to cycle behind their own net, but a miscommunication goes to Dobas, and he's forced to cover it up.
And that's a couple times Camp Minor trying to stick handle his way out of traffic. I mean, you just got to move the puck, let the puck do the work a little bit. And a smart decision there by Dobas to freeze the puck and get another whistle and get a line change here for DeSmet.
The offensive draw for SLUH, able to move that back to the point, but too far back as it split the defenseman. Goes all the way back into their own zone. Under some pressure was White, able to move it to Lockwood. Now Bob Lockwood sends it across ice, and trying to knock it in was Carden, but Now SLUH pushes forward into the zone, a shot taken, and a good save by Jacob Dobis as they had options there moving in.
Yeah, it looked like we're going to get a penalty on this play here to DeSmet, and therefore Jacob Dobis is going to be put to the task once again. He makes these big saves look routine, Andy.
Yeah, he certainly does. And again, a little bit of a touchy call there, but not the situation DeSmet wants to find themselves in. Big opportunity for SLUH to build on this 1-0 lead.
They win the face-off back. It's Lockwood, spins around, thought about shooting. Now goes back over to the far side. Now down low. SLUH pressuring a good stick there by Abel, and he tries to lift it up, but it's too far out and into the SLUH Junior Billiken student section.
Jamie, that's a tough call if you're DeSmet. I mean, with some of the stuff they've allowed to play on here in the early going, with what's at stake and the intensity, and I mean, that's a little bit ticky-tack on that slashing call. This is a huge, huge kill for DeSmet. They're going to have to kill this one off.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an unfortunate call, you know, but the referees, as we know, they're down there doing the best they can. Things happen fast, and you know, I guess the only way to avoid that is to try not to put yourself in any of those situations.
Here's Simonsik, feeds it back to Lockwood. Lockwood at the middle, has some time, and he feeds it down to Schwartz. Now they move around the umbrella. Lockwood, a shot tipped on and just barely missed by a foot. SLUH grabs the rebound, Simonsik. Waits tried to feed a longly pass to Gage Schwartz, but it's intercepted by DeSmet, and they're going to get a needed change.
And that's a great read by DeSmet. Daniel Kinzel, also one of the top pitchers in the area. He's a lefty.
Maybe used later, a little specialist. As he gets to college in a SLUH, the chance in front, a good shot. But Dobis able to find that on the near side. There's now some pushing back and forth right in front of the Spartans net.
And that's what you want to do if you're SLUH, Jamie. Get as many bodies in front. Try to rattle Dobis if you can. Get him off his game. He's a pretty cool customer. That's difficult to do, but smart move by Jacoby, and he's a pretty smart guy. 35 in the ACT, 4.3 grade point average. Hopes to go to Notre Dame next season.
Yeah, that is a great move. Putting Hazelton up there too in front of the net, Jacoby in front of the net on the second unit. Those are some big, strong boys in front of the net trying to cause some havoc here for the DeSmet goalie.
DeSmet working out of their own end. Mario DiMaggio spins around and loses it. It's a breakaway for Kinzel. Moving in the backhander. Great pass save by Rash. A shorthanded opportunity foiled by Rash, and then a big hit in front of the SLUH bench on one of the junior Billikens, and the Spartans able to clear it down.
Well, not to be outdone on that one. Hey guys, Brendan Rash coming up with a big save of his own. He's letting Jacob Dobis know that he's not the only goalie in this game.
There's Jacoby moving in. Dobis coming out of his net, plays it to the outside as we're about to be at even strength. Now we are. The SLUH still pressuring Simonsik. Gets the puck poke checked away from him briefly, moves it back to the point, tried to at least, and then it's intercepted by Mullen. Mullen moving in. The pass rather in between the legs. It's still loose. He score! Rash didn't know where it was. It's poked in, and it's a tie game.
Wow, unfortunate there, certainly for Brendan Rash, who just came up with a huge save. But Andy, if we watch this play, SLUH has gotten a little careless with their puck management in the offensive zone. And as we see here on the replay, big turnover. Estes goes to the net. Rash doesn't have it quite covered, and Estes follows up with that goal.
And it was a smart play by Mullen. Just throw the puck on net. Throw it softly in a little area to allow Estes to get a stick on it. I think that distracted Rash. It was able to get through the legs of Rash, and then a smart play by Estes to stay with it, find the loose puck in front of the net, and slam it home, and we got a tie game. Tie game.
Wow, and the DeSmet fans are going nuts here, too.
So a clean slate, we're back up. We're back tied as SLUH immediately pressuring into Smet's end. They're able to push it out. Daniel Kinzel was able to tip it, so no icing declared. Rash has to come out of his net to play it. As Lockwood works with it. Goes in for Wagner, and then a long lead shot. Goes into the corner where Smet is able to work its way out. Daniel Kinzel will throw it in. Spartans changes. SLUH try to pass to find Wagner. It went past him. He tipped it though, so no icing. And Jack Estes was about to wait and leave it, but now he'll carry it. Able to get around two Junior Billikens briefly, and then it's taken back by Paulo. He has Wagner, but they're caught offside for a whistle.
And that's where you have to be smart if you're Estes. You can't try to finagle your way through traffic. You got to simplify the game and get pucks in deep. Take an icing if you have to, but I really like the play of Daniel Kinzel. I think he's helped jumpstart the Smet. He's had a couple of real big hits. He had one right in front of me on Trey Lyons, throwing the body around. He's a senior. He brings leadership, and I think the rest of the team has fed off that energy and helped them get to the point where they are right now, which is tying the hockey game up.
Thrown into the Spartan end by the Junior Billikens. Trying to work it out is Kausch, able to get to the blue line, but held in by Heithaus, and then finally cleared out by the Spartans. High stick by the Spartans, but the SLUH was going to touch it, but going to be declared a high stick and go all the way down.
You know, Jamie, you know this, when you're playing against a team that's quicker, maybe more skilled, there are ways to equalize it, and a lot of times it comes through physical play, finishing checks, winning board battles, and just being the hungrier team. And we didn't see that in the early going from the Smet, but they've really started to come on, and they're winning a lot of those small area plays that really have made them so successful over the course of the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Spartans win the draw on their own end, get to as far as center, but finds its way back to their defense, and then a poke check taken right back by Trey Lyons. Lyons off the boards, back to Hazelton. Now sends it down low. Warnicki tried to give it back to the point, but the Spartans intercept that and send it back to center. Loose puck, going to be picked up by Lockman, and he gets upended, so Hazelton takes over, tried to pass, intercepted, in front, and was caught in the feet of the Smet player, else he had a great A chance. Now a long shot taken, that one deflected wide. Now it's caught on the side of the net once again as Smet was trying to throw that in front. So it's going to be a whistle.
Well, guys, that's the line I was telling you about for DeSmet. Jed England, Tyler Lockman, young guys, Ben Lotus, and they're buzzing, creating opportunities. Lockman with a fantastic play there. Looks like Lotus just lost vision of it for a second. Jed England with a chance after that. You know, that's a line, Andy, that's going to be a bonus for Chris Durso. Is they're not the top line, but they're creating right now.
No question. And they had a chance there. I mean, a really good one, too. Lotus just couldn't find it.
The Spartans under a lot of pressure as they work down the right wing, taken right away from them from Henry Wagner. Wagner try to pass, that bounces off his stick and goes right back for the Spartans as Walpert clears it in. SLUH defense back to get it. Bob Lockwood being tied up by Mullen. They're able to poke it away and then taken right back by Henry Wagner. Only to be taken back by the defense and thrown in as Smet was making changes, and you could have too many men here, Andy.
Yeah, the miscommunication. It looks like the Smet bench, and again, some frustration there. And I know the coaches are talking to the officials. I think they're going to let this one go.
Yeah, I think the original call on that, Andy, was an icing call that the one referee waved off and the other one kept his arm up. And so I think they've come to the conclusion that with the whistle blown, they'll have the face-off closest to where the puck was when they had the whistle.
So SLUH wins the draw on their own end. A nice little touch, and they're able to move it forward. Going into the zone is Heithaus, and he's muscled off the puck by Kampminer. Kampminer pinned against the boards, now able to win it to Carson Wilhelm. Wilhelm working up the boards for Kausch. Taken right back by SLUH. DiMaggio sends it deep. tipped wide by Dobis, and now over to the near side corner. SLUH able to poke it around, or DeSmet able to poke it around. Wilhelm can't keep it out, and then a long shot by SLUH gets knocked off a body. Wilhelm again, can't get it out the second time going to the far side. This time it moves over to this near side boards for DeSmet, goes back to SLUH and goes back for DiMaggio. And it's now SLUH clears it in. As Dobis hands it back to his defense, a long lead pass trying to find Kausch, and that's going to be an icing on DeSmet.
Trying to argue that it was touched by the DeSmet winger, obviously trying to stretch the ice a little bit there. Really an unnecessary icing. They had no pressure. Sometimes you'd like to see the defenseman, if they can there, Jamie, just take a couple of steps and just make a hard tape-to-tape pass.
Yeah, I think the one D-man had been caught out there a little bit. I'm not quite sure, but you know, you're right, Andy. It's always good to move your feet a little bit and create some ice out there.
Smet sends it into the corner. Fighting for it is Lockman. And he loses it. SLUH moving it over to this near side, and able to barely push it out was Bivol. Heading right back in is Brock. Kyle Brock drops it back. Lockman the shot, and a good save by Rash.
I love how he dragged the puck there, create a little more space for him, change the angle. Really strong save by Rash.
Lifted out by the Spartans, bounces off his stick and goes right back to Bivol. He's gonna not be able to grab possession of that, so he sends it back to his defense as Hazelton sends a long pass. Might have been tipped by Wagner, so Dobis has to come out of his net to play it to his defense. Now Joshua Abel try to feed it up to Kausch, too far for him, so the Spartans once again ice it.
Here's the play I was talking about from Lachlan. Again, nice little toe drag, and Rash is able to fight it off. He's made some real big saves as well. We keep talking about Dobis. Rash has come up big as well, and he's been big in this game in the past and obviously loves the big spotlight.
Smokes it, gets the puck right off the faceoff. Couldn't handle it though. It's lifted out to center, past the defense, and Kinzel grabs it. Kinzel spins off a check, cuts in front, a shot, and a good arm save by Rash. Goes behind the net now. Michael Mullen gets the puck knocked off him. SLUH trying to just work it out. Instead, they'll just flip it all the way down as Jack Estes pushes it back. Wagner hit hard against the boards, no call, and now there will be.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Trenton White coming up the ice. A little bit of a blindside hit on this play as we see the replay. Coming from the back, coming from the side, near the boards. That's a dangerous hit. You're going to see that call every time, Andy.
That can be really dangerous, and it's good to see Trent White playing for St. Louis University High. You know, he lacerated his spleen, missed most of the season, came back, played one game, and then he had mono. So he's had a tough go, and he's had to, go through an awful lot just to be ready and prepared to play in this game, and took a wrong end of that hit, that's for sure.
Another power play opportunity for SLUH. Move it back to the point. It's Schwartz to Lockwood. Back down low, Simonsik looking in front, tries to send it towards the slide, goes off a skate, but right back to the junior Billikens. One-time shot, Lockwood, Simonsik looking for the bouncing puck. That's going to be grabbed by Lotus, and now going into the corner. Spartans can't clear it out. Goes back to the point. Gives it to Lockwood. Lockwood waiting. Down low, Schwartz at a tight angle. The shot taken, and getting a piece of that was Dobis, but it was going wide. Now, blowing a tire is a DeSmet player, but he's still able to clear it all the way down the ice.
Yeah, that was Kinzel. Great second effort.
As here comes Hanger Wagner, a slap shot right on and right into the logo of the Czech goaltender, Dobis.
Yeah, that's a good shot by Henry Wagner, but you know, Jacob Dobis is such a skilled goalie. He's going to get out to the blue paint, every time, as we see here. He's out good, challenging, gets it right in the chest area and swallows it up for no rebound. But it's interesting to see SLUH continue to put defensemen up in front of the net. Hazelton started on the point for the faceoff and skated right up and got in front of Dobis. So I think it's pretty clear what their strategy is on their power play right now.
Puck was knocked up in the air. No one knew where it was briefly, but here comes Jed England, shorthanded. 1 minute left in his team's PK as he just leaves it in the corner. As pushing it forward was Ostick. Now another shot taken, that by England. That had to be turned aside by Rash. Back in his own end is Bavol. They send it off the boards. Now Bavol again, able to feed it to DiMaggio. They finally entered the DeSmet end. Unable to grab that was Dobis. Pinned against the boards. DeSmet able to grab that, and they're going to clear it all the way down. There's 15 seconds left in this power play for SLUH. Able to work past one man, and they'll clear it in. Dobis out of his net, looking to clear it. He gets it to his defenseman, and they're able to push it out of the zone as we will be back at even strength. Jack Estes under some pressure in his own end. Backhands it to the near side. Lockwood grabs the loose puck, tries to center it to the middle. Good play by Wilhelm to break that up. And now the Spartans grab solid possession. Moving through as Mullen. Mullen dumps it in. SLUH rather immediately able to push it up the near side boards. And then it's going to be taken forward by Heithaus. Heithaus looking in middle. That's DeSmet able to break that up, clear it off the glass, and they will ice it yet again.
Yeah, you know what? I don't mind that play, guys. Yeah, we're getting deep into the second period here, just under 3 minutes left. They have the long change. It's not a bad play at that point to get the puck down, regroup, get some fresh bodies out there. Yes, it gives SLUH a chance to get some fresh bodies out there as well, but I'd take the face-off draw like this anytime.
It slowed the game down, and we've talked about that a couple times. They needed to slow the game down, and I agree with you, Jamie.
Simonsik pressuring in front, a wrist shot, and he scores! He does it all himself, Patrick Simonsik, and it's his second goal, and it's 2-1 SLUH.
Oh, what a fantastic goal by Simonsik on that play, and contrary to what I just said, gentlemen, it looks like that ended up being a bad play, but the puck ended up in the back of the net. Andy, what did you see on that play?
Well, the key is you got to win the face-off, and Simonsik, he's a long, rangy body. Look how he uses his body to protect his puck, get to his forehand, and he's able to slide it over the pad of a sprawling Dobis. Another overhead look here. Again, he goes blocker side, and Simonsik, he's got some offensive touch, like we said. His second goal here tonight.
SLUH wins a face-off right away. Big hit by Estes in front of the SLUH bench, but SLUH pressuring in the offensive end, trying to move it back to DiMaggio. Broken up by Kinzel and lifted out, trying to find Walpert. Smith now at the red line, trying to push it up. Walpert able to get it to Kinzel. Kinzel moving in, the shot blocked by his shin pad, but SLUH can't clear it out. Held at the blue line. Now a fight ensues for it, and SLUH gonna switch it to the far side, and here comes Justin Jacoby. Jacoby broke away from the defenseman. He was too wide outside to cut towards the middle. Now a shot in front, and that was deflected on goal by Lyons. Now Gabe Schwartz. Schwartz on the backhand. Knocked down off the puck, and DeSmet takes over, but it hit Schwartz's body, and he's gonna send that deep. Chasing after it, Wagner. Wagner goes in against the boards with Abel. And now Wagner will be able to grab it, hit by Estes. And now they go into the near side corner. SLUH trying to, looks like they have possession. Now they do. Gabe Schwartz back at the point, stepping forward, the shot taken, that goes wide. Now goes back, Lockwood, a chance, and that gets blocked in front. And DeSmet pressure, now it's a 3-on-2. Moving into the zone, Kemp. Knocked off the puck. Now Mullen, a long slap shot, and that goes wide. Henry Wagner with 1 minute left in the second period. Tried to dump it in, but didn't get all of it. And the Smet pass intercepted and sent all the way in by Hazelton, and Dobis is forced to cover.
Well, we'll see here, guys, if DeSmet is able to do a better job on their defensive zone face-off here. With under a minute left to play, they're going to want to be sound off this draw.
Face-off pushed forward by SLUH, goes into the corner, and SLUH with DeSmet going to send it over to this near side, and pushing out was Lockman briefly, then a shot taken by SLUH, goes wide. Puck picked up by Lotus. Lotus tried to move it into the zone for Lockman. He's hit hard, and that's going to be a penalty on the Junior Billikens.
Wow, that's a tough call there. You know, we don't like to see high hits, but Jacoby here just playing the game the right way. Leans over. We see the replay. Tyler Lockman comes in, gets shifty, and it's, oh, you know what? The elbow does get up a little high into the jaw area, but at full speed, originally, it didn't look like much. So, you know what? We got to tip the hat to the ref there, Andy.
Got his hands up a little high.
Yeah.
And again, that's one thing the officials will call consistently. You get your hands up high, you get contact with the head, that's an automatic call. But this is what can happen when DeSmet, when they attack with speed, they can create some havoc, and we saw that there.
So DeSmet, power play opportunity, but here comes Wagner, shorthanded, moving in. A wrist shot and a good save by Dobis. That's the last thing the Spartans need heading into the second intermission.
Yeah, DeSmet's going to have to do a better job in the face-off dot. We've seen some big face-offs that have been won by SLUH. I mean, offensive zone face-off for DeSmet, they lose it, and SLUH comes down shorthanded and gets a scoring chance.
One back, Simonsik looking for the hat trick. The shot, it goes off the blocker of Dobis, and it looks like DeSmet will hold on to it for a second. 15 seconds just left. As now they'll slowly move forward with it. Lotus moves it over, and now they'll have one last rush with 5 seconds left. The wrist shot goes off of Rash's glove into the boards, where it goes in for Cam Meinhardt, who's chasing after it, but that is the end of the second period.
Well, we'll see here with the power play headed into the third period. DeSmet will have a chance to go and set up what they want, go over strategy, and hopefully execute as they come back. And it looks like our very own Andy Strickland is down on the Junior Bills bench with none other than Jack Bean.
All right, guys. Jack, how's your blood pressure?
We're going good. I don't have to listen to ribs, so I'm in great shape.
First two periods, though, you guys got off to a good start. You had a lot of energy early. Were you happy with the way your team was skating?
You know, I thought we had a good start. When they got that first power play, that kind of took the momentum away a little bit and took us a while to get back into the groove. They scored that goal. Took us a while to bounce back from that, but, you know, Samalchek Tatar had a great play on that goal.
Their goaltender is a big body. What's the key to taking his eyes away and creating offense in front of them?
Well, I think that the key to our deal is we have to continue to pressure. Our goalie's playing great. We just got to support them enough to get them through this.
Yeah, one more period to play. What do you tell your guys now?
Well, I think we're just keep the course, and the thing I like the most about it is a very positive bench over here. Okay, tough goal that got scored against us. We're still a very positive bench. They're in a good spot right now.
Jack, thanks.
Thank you, Andy.
Let's send it back up to you guys.
Well, guys, before we take a little breather here for the resurfacing of the ice, Andy, I had a quick question for you. Have you heard about the restaurant located on the moon?
On the moon?
Yeah, have you heard about that?
Tell me about it.
Well, supposedly it's going to have great food, but a bad atmosphere.
Ah, there you go.
Think I'll leave you guys on that one.
Stay out of the Cracker Jack box.
Now he takes off the headset. He wants to get out of here quick as the SLUH Junior Billikens lead to the Smet Spartans 2-1 after 2 periods of play. Don't go anywhere, as we'll be right back with the third period. You're listening to the Challenge Cup.
It takes a lot of support from our community to make this event possible. Mid-States High School Hockey Association would like to thank the following sponsors for their unmatched support in making this evening's event go smoothly. Many thanks to CFO Accounting and Business Solutions, Applied Power Systems, Monterrubio and Herbosa Oral Surgeons, Synergy Hockey, Trademark Swimming Pool Service and Maintenance, Pappy's Smokehouse, Game Plan Sports, St. Louis Embroidery, Varsity Views, St. Louis Blues Alumni, and Shilly Plastering. We encourage all in attendance to patronize these local businesses and thank them for their support of Mid-States High School hockey.
were slamming, rubber squealing, gears are jamming. Local country station just a blaring on the radio. Pick him up at 7 and they're heading to the rodeo. Mama's on the front porch screaming out her warning. Girl, you better get your red head back in bed before the morning. 9 o'clock, the show is in, but the fun is just beginning. She knows he's anticipating, but she's gonna keep him waiting. Grab a bite to eat, and then they're heading to the honky tonk. Loud crowds and line dancing just ain't what they really want. Drive out to the boondocks and park down by the creek, where it's George Strait, real late, dancing cheek to cheek. Ain't going down till the sun comes up. Ain't giving in till they get enough. Go around the world in a pickup truck. Ain't going down till the sun comes up. Wine dancing, midnight starts a hard romance, and 1 o'clock that truck is rocking, 2 is coming, still no stopping, break to check the clock at 3, they're right on where they wanna be, and 4 o'clock get up, get going, 5 o'clock at Rooster's Crow.
And welcome back into the Enterprise Center for the third and final period of play. SLUH leads DeSmet 2-1. As we're going to send it down to Andy Strickland, who's with the DeSmet coach, Chris Durso. Andy?
All right, Patrick, thanks. Chris, down by a goal after 2 periods of play. How do you feel about the game so far?
I think we like the flow. Obviously, you know, a couple bad bounces there, a couple missed face-off assignments, and you know, we clean that stuff up. It's a different game, but we're going to come out here on the power play here and start the third period. I like where we're at. Our power play's been buzzing in the playoffs, about 40%. So hopefully they'll get one here early, and then we just take it to them the rest of the way.
All right, what's the key to generating more offense and getting more traffic in front of their goaltender?
Well, I think you know, he's made some great saves, especially on that breakaway, things like that. I think we just need to get pucks on net. We have to get traffic, and we got to crash the net hard.
How was the team? How was the theme inside the locker room after the second period?
There's a good energy. You know, obviously we'd like to be in a better spot right now, but down by a goal, I'll take it. You know, season's on the line. We got 15 minutes. Got you know, 20, 25 shifts here, and we'll try to win every one of them and take it home.
All right, Chris, good luck.
Thanks.
Patrick, back to you.
And thank you, Andy. And they definitely will have to get to Rash early, who's played extremely well those first 2 periods.
Yeah, you know, he's been solid back there for the Junior Bills, and we talked about it before we went to break, was that, you know, DeSmet's going to have a great opportunity here rather to start the third period on the power play. 1:27 left on the power play. They've got fresh ice. Really no excuse at this point. They're going to have to generate something off of this. And we talked earlier, even during the Wickenheiser Championship, how the power play has to generate something for you. Hopefully a goal, but if not, at least momentum and get your team headed in the right direction. And like Chris Durso said, just a couple of, you know, missed assignments on those goals, and you know, they give up those goals, but their goalie's been solid. This is a huge opportunity for them as we head into the third period.
As Jacoby is still in the box for 1:27, so a big opportunity for DeSmet. As goals so far have been scored both by SLUH, have been scored by number 19, Patrick Simoncic, and then the lone goal for DeSmet was number 2, Jack Estes. Was able to find the loose puck. But it's 2-1 heading into the final 15 minutes for the Challenge Cup.
Well, 15 minutes left here. We'll have a champion crowned here in 15 minutes, unless we head to overtime.
Overtime would be a 10-minute sudden death as DeSmet wins the draw, but goes right to SLUH and then all the way down into the Spartan end. Jack Estes gets it from his goaltender, and he'll start up the offense, moving it down the right wing, and then a dumping in, going over to the near side boards, where Estes cannot hold the line. Almost a breakaway opportunity for Henry Wagner, but good play by Estes to break that up immediately. Now SLUH just waiting in their own end, and now Lockwood will heave it all the way down the ice. Goes hard off the boards, and the Junior Billikens will change. Spartans weaving through their own end. It's Michael Mullen. Mullen picks up some speed, hands it off to Estes. Cross-ice pass going point to point, looking for Wilhelm. Instead, Wilhelm just throws it into the corner, where DeSmet's able to start up. Nice move to work towards the middle by Kinzel, but that puck's knocked off his stick as Wardnicki able to dump it down, and Dobes comes out of his net and is able to clear it out of the zone.
I think Chris Durso was hoping for more out of this power play, at least generate some momentum. A great job by SLUH there on the kill to begin this third period.
Yeah, DeSmet here is going to have to manufacture a little more intensity here as they head back to even strength, but SLUH did a great job on that penalty kill.
Estes, a long lead pass, tipped off his stick. That was Tyler Lockman. Lockman into the corner. Roughed up against by Hazelton, then a big hit there by Bavol, able to swing that possession in favor of SLUH. Now they break in, trying to send it in front to Lyons, but he couldn't get a hold of it, but SLUH grabs it right back. Here's Trey Lyons, a shot goes over the head of Dobes, and then SLUH cannot hold the line. DiMaggio falls down, and here comes Michael Mullen, trying to get around Jacoby. They go into the corner together, and now joining in is Couch. They will throw it forward, but then taken right back by SLUH. They'll cross the red line and send it all the way in and make wholesale changes.
You know, guys, I just saw Justin Reynolds, the captain for DeSmet, also the student body president. They really miss him. Like I said earlier, hurt his shoulder at the end of the game in the last semifinal game against Chaminade. And, you know, that's got to be painful senior year and not be able to play in the championship game. But he's headed to Indiana University, and like I said, he's a student body president, very popular on and off the ice, and they miss him, believe me. One of their top defensemen, too.
Yeah, he's a great player, a great kid, and you're absolutely right. They miss him in this lineup for sure here tonight.
SLUH wins the draw, able to keep it in. Smet grabs possession back, Kampminer. Long lead pass, can't find the man, which was Kinzel, and will go down for another icing.
Well, this is a situation that DeSmet doesn't want to find themselves in too often here. They're giving SLUH's top line multiple chances in the offensive zone off face-offs, and SLUH's been very strong so far. So hopefully DeSmet can get out of this one.
It's going to be Michael Mullen kicked from the face-off dot. SLUH able to win it back to the point. Trent White sends it off the glass. Simonczyk racing after, and then holding the line is Lockwood, who took a long shot. Now another one that was deflected and bounced wide. Spartans grab it on the near side. Kampminer moves it forward. In for Mullen, then he tried to throw it towards the middle, goes right back to him and sends it in front. It goes off a skate to Rash, and a long slap shot taken now. That was by Lotus. And the loose puck going to be grabbed by DeSmet in on the boards. In the corner now hit is Coldwater. Coldwater able to move it back towards the point. They get it further for Estes, who took a shot and hit a body. And here comes Schwartz. Schwartz in, tries to cut around the defense, but can't do so as the puck's knocked off his stick. And Mullen will be able to push it forward. Going in is Lockman. Lockman not able to get there in time, so SLUH just backhands that off the glass. Back for the Spartans defense. In comes Lotus. Lotus going wide, tried to send it in front. It's going to be intercepted once again by SLUH, and now if they hurry, they can get a race to it, but a nice stick by DeSmet to keep that in the neutral zone. Jack Estes going back and forth with his partner. Now it's left forward, and unable to get there was the Spartans, but now Kampminer able to push it forward. But Hazelton will grab it for the junior Billikens.
Well, Tyler Loughlin just took a big hit right in front of me, and he looked like he was shaken up. We'll have to monitor and see how he's feeling. He looks to be in a lot of pain there on the bench.
Yeah, that was a bit of a scary one. Ended up, looked like a little bit of head first into the boards.
Smet able to keep it in. Great play by Wilhelm in front, and they score. It's a tie game. Jacob Kausch.
Well, gentlemen, that's a huge goal for De Smet, to say the least. Good little deflection in front of the net. This crowd is buzzing right now. We see here on the replay, puck heads down low. Little pass in front of the net there by Wilhelm.
Well, how about that hand-eye coordination by Wilhelm? Able to knock that puck down just barely below his shoulders.
Yeah, and then presence of mind to put it to the front of the net, and Jacob Kausch with a little redirect off the inside of the post and in. So a great goal by the Spartans here. It'll be interesting to see, Andy, how SLUH bounces back from this.
Well, Jacob Kausch has come up huge all playoff long for De Smet. That's his 7th playoff goal here in the playoffs. Had some huge goals in the semifinal as well. And this is what Chris Durso wanted to see from his team coming into the 3rd period. Just weather the storm, be patient. But when the opportunity comes, you have to take advantage of it. A beautiful goal by a guy who continues, like I said, to come up large when a team needs him the most. What a huge goal by De Smet.
Neutral zone draw one by De Smet as Coldwater tried to push it back, and now we have a hook by Henry. That was after the whistle, though. I don't believe there'll be a penalty there, but some words exchanged.
Well, now we've got 2-all game here, guys. The crowd has been buzzing all night, but right now the De Smet student body is certainly creating some noise, and we'll see if that generates a little bit of extra energy for the Spartans here.
Mullins goes into the draw against Schwartz. Looked like one of them jumped early, but the referee's just going to have the wingers push out a little bit. Now the Spartans win the faceoff. A shot taken right off the point goes wide. Estes just throwing it back in. Spartans have to tag back up. Now they charge in. Lockwood just lifts it to center. Fresh legs out there for De Smet. There's Jack Estes. Cuts past the red line. Then he's going to carry it himself into the zone. Estes way down low. Tried to throw it in front. It's going to go out to the point. A shot taken by Abel is blocked by SLUH and then thrown right back in by De Smet. On the far side boards, Mullen able to push it away. A shot taken, it goes off a skate and into the netting for a whistle.
And you got to be really impressed with Jack Estes being asked to play defense. He's a forward, asked to play defense because of injury, and he looks like a defenseman. I mean, he's been one of their better players, one of the more noticeable players all night long here for the Spartans.
Smet wins the draw on the offensive end, and Biondo thought about shooting it, instead rings it all the way around. As pinching was Kampminer, unable to get that, so it's going to be Hazelton clearing it all the way down into the Spartans' end, but it doesn't look like it'll be far enough for icing. Didn't have the speed, so it got waved off. Just barely kept in by Hazelton. Throwing it towards the middle, then De Smet able to push that away, but it goes right back in front. A shot, good block in front. As that was Biondo getting down. He might have saved a goal.
And it's a big block by Biondo. He's the one who turned the puck over behind his own net. Looked like the puck rolled on his tape just a little bit. He couldn't make a flat pass. And it was almost a dangerous situation. And, you know, he's a good player. He plays for the 2004 AAA Blues as well. And he's got a lot of potential. You notice his skating ability, but also willing to go down and sacrifice the body and block some shots. That's a huge block. And you know what that feeling is like, Jamie. You turn a puck over as a defenseman, you want to make sure you get in front of the shot that is being directed towards the front of the net.
Absolutely, 100%.
Spartans win the draw in their own end. They push it up, and here's Kelly Coldwater with it. He handed it off to Kinzel, who was hit against the boards, and SLUH grabs to their own end. It's Jacoby under some pressure, able to lift that forward, but right to the Spartans, and then sent right back to the Junior Billikens. At the blue line, it's cleared in. Dobis will come out of his net, wins it to this near side. Coldwater fighting with it with Cardin. It's just going to go right back to Thomas Kampminer. Good pass forward. Looking for Coldwater, and he's going to get a piece of that off the boards and just clear it all the way in. Spartans making a full change. 7.5 left as it goes to Jacoby, who clears off the glass, but Spartans take over. SLUH changing now. It's touch forward for Osterich. And then cleared all the way down by SLUH. No icing is able, grabbing it. Has to muscle around one man. He does, and then a big hit. Looking for that was Simonsik. He missed that though. Goes over. As now SLUH pushes forward with it at their own blue line. Cross ice pass finds Simonsik. It bounces off his stick though, too hot to handle. And Lockwood grabs it, tries to send it in. It gets blocked by Coldwater. Now this Spartan defense under some pressure. Taking over is Gabe Schwartz. Schwartz trying to send it down to Wagner. And pushing it forward was Mullen, but SLUH takes it right back. Behind the Spartan net. They look out in front. The shot taken by Wagner. Save, rebound in front, and Schwartz had a chance to get the lead, but he shot it wide. Schwartz again. This time he's hounded by a bunch of Spartans, and Estes went away with it. Then got the puck knocked off of him. Good play by Mullen to regain that. Cross the red line, dumps it in. Full change is made by both teams. In comes Rob Lockwood. Lockwood on the backhand, moves in front, and Dobis knocked that net loose for a whistle.
And guys, there's been some confusion here. As the linesman skated by, he said something to me. Apparently somebody has a whistle in the stands, and I don't know if you guys are picking that up or not, but I've heard it on a couple of occasions, and you'd wish whoever has the whistle in the stands will stop blowing it because it's creating some confusion down here. But that whole little swarm of chances there by SLUH was created by an unnecessary turnover by DeSmet, trying to go D to D inside their own zone with a SLUH player right in front of you. That puck's got to go north.
The Spartans working with there in their own end, try and send that forward. It goes off a stick, so no icing. Goes back for Jack Hazelton. Off the board, Spartans able to send that right back in. That was Lotus. Now going into the boards is England. Can't grab that puck, so the junior Billikens come away with it. And now Jack Hazelton, a nice long lead pass. He's able to find Warnicki. Warnicki goes wide on the backhand, sends it down low. Now Warnicki in front, the shot, it goes off both posts, it did not go in. It went across the red line, but Dovis is able to stand tall.
Wow, gentlemen. From our vantage point up here, we had a great view of it, Patrick, and it did. It went off both posts and out, and the danger on that sometimes, Andy, as you know, is a puck will bounce off the goalie and then go into the net. We see the replay here, right in front, misses, goes off both posts, and is laying behind and somehow finds a way to stay out of there. Great view here overhead, Andy.
Little premature celebration by the Billiken bench and their fans. They thought it went in. The whole building did.
Long shot by SLUH, almost got the lead there, but a good glove save by Dobis. Staying with it is Paolo. Gets his stick lifted, and Kinzel comes away with it, lifts it back to center. All the way down into the SLUH end, not far enough for icing though. They've hit the 5-minute mark. As now SLUH spun around in their own end once, and a good play by Mullen trying to knock that puck loose in the SLUH end. Instead it's tipped down by Paolo, and SLUH make a full change. Picking up some speed is Joshua Abel. Abel, nice feed forward into the zone. A shot taken by Mullen, turned aside by Rash. Up the boards is DiMaggio. Simonsik further to Wagner. Touched along to Schwartz. Schwartz now down the right wing into the corner. Lost it briefly, able to regain composure. Back at the point, Hazelton winds up, shot, left pad save by Dobis. Unable to clear it out, good hold in. Hazelton the shot, that gets blocked and then cleared to center. SLUH is really pressuring these past 2 minutes.
Are they ever, Patrick? I mean, that was a bomb by Hazelton. And Dobis once again stands tall. Tender with Topeka, the North American Hockey League, and He'll play in the USHL as well at some point.
As Estes trying to do it all himself, ended up losing the puck right at the hash marks. SLUH comes the other way, chips it in right on Dobis, and now a man tripped up. That was Kampminer. No calls. I guess they're going to rule that incidental. 2-on-2 the other way. And is Lotus the wrist shot, and that goes wide. As it gets lifted back to center and slapped right back in by DeSmet. The lone man chasing after that is Lotus. No pressure for Hazelton, so he's easily able to move that over to his defensive partner, and a long pass up to Paolo, who just clears it in. Now Paolo back at the point, shot taken, and a good one by Jacoby, but it goes right into Dobis' stomach for a whistle.
Dobis looking extremely comfortable here right now. We're right at the 3 minutes and 4 seconds left in this third period. This is going to come down to the discipline mentally for these guys. What team can stick to the system, stick to playing the game the right way without crumbling? One turnover, gentlemen, could cost you the championship at this point.
Smart changes, puck management. I mean, absolutely. It's all down to details now when you get to this point in the hockey game.
Face-off won by SLUH. Wagner takes over, a long shot taken that hit a body in front, and then it's going to be cleared out by Brickhouse.
That was a great shot block there, but once again, another face-off victory for SLUH on that one. And you don't want to give Henry Wagner the puck too often. The Yale commit, NCAA Division I. You don't want to let him have it.
Schwartz comes in, block saved by Dobis. Now goes over to the near side, racing after it is Wagner. Can he get there for Schwartz? Able to grab it back, and he moves back to the point. Jacoby, a long shot saved by Dobis. Spartans pushing up the boards. They find Kelly Coldwater. Coldwater feeds a man. Now backhanded in by Michael Mullen, but he's just going to go off for a change as SLUH starts in their own end. Trying to get the pass forward, but broken up by the Spartans. Right back to the Junior Billikens. Lockwood sends it all the way in. Kampminer under some pressure, able to move it up to Lockman. He just sent that right to a Junior Billiken as they enter the zone. That was Lockwood, but they were caught off sides.
Jakob Dobis certainly been the storyline coming into the game, and he's been the storyline here in this one. He's made some unbelievable saves, and we look at SLUH here on the attack. Here's Gabriel Schwartz, and again, you look at the rebound. Kind of came out funny off the blocker of Dobis, but again, they were able to survive the second wave from the Junior Billikens.
SLUH sent it right back in. That was going to be offsides. Now they're going to declare it offsides as a Billiken was down behind the net. That was Trey Lyons.
Dobis was initially ruled ineligible, but they appealed. The Smet did. They won the appeal, and he was able to be eligible to play. He played 9 games this year, including the playoffs. He's 7-2. Always helps when the head coach is an attorney, Jamie, when you want to appeal. I mean, Chris Durso found the loophole, and you know what? They won the appeal, and there's nothing wrong with that. He came over from the Czech Republic. He's been a great story.
The shot by Wagner blocked, kept at the point by SLUH. A long shot taken, misses wide, then sent back in front. Couldn't get it. And then there was going to be a slap shot from the point, but it gets knocked off its posts. I don't know who did it, but we got a whistle.
Well, the referees must feel that this was an accident coming off the posts here like that. Otherwise, they could award a penalty shot at this point of the game. And it looks like Dobis was just pushing off the post with his foot, which is quite common for goalies these days. They use those posts as a wedge for their pushes across the crease. So this is a huge face-off here for both teams.
As the tie goes away as SLUH. Henry Walker walks around, takes a wrist shot that misses everything high. Simonsik fighting for it. Estes not able to clear it out. Goes down to Henry Wagner. Wagner hoarded around by Mullen. Pushes it towards the slot, and it's kept in by Jacoby. Jacoby off the boards with 1 minute left in this game. If it goes to overtime, it'll be a 10-minute sudden death as it's back in the Billiken end. They cleared 4. That's going to go all the way down and be an icing on SLUH.
Wow, we talk about huge face-offs. Here's another one, Andy. Icing call with just under 44 seconds to play. SLUH has been stellar in the offensive zone face-off, so it'll be interesting to see here what Coach Durso throws at their defense.
Well, it looks like it's going to be Warnicky who's going to take the draw for SLUH.
Michael Mullen, the man for the Spartans, as it's 1 to the boards by the junior Billikens. Pass up times Tyler Lyons, and he'll clear it in deep. Abel, the first man there for the Spartans, touched along to the corner, but the Spartans are there with 30 seconds left in the third period. It goes back and thrown back in by Hazelton. Dobis comes out, settles that. His defense under some pressure, has to get it away, and they do. Gets the feed up to Lotus. Here comes Lotus, spins around, knocked off the puck, and Lyons the other way. It's a 2-on-1 with 7 seconds left. Lyons in, leaves it, the shot, and a pad save by Dobis. That's cleared to the outside to the point, and we are going to overtime in the Challenge Cup.
Wow, guys. Andy, we talk about putting the pucks in deep, and, you know, Ben Lotus, a great player, decides to try and chip one through the middle. A little bit of a turnover. SLUH heads the other way, and with under 10 seconds left, they have an outnumbered situation. So not an opportunity you want to give up at the end of a game or end of a period, let alone the championship game. So DeSmet, gets by on that one. A little lucky, and a great save again by Dobis. But the guys, this is the real deal here now as we see the replay here of DeSmet's goal. Wilhelm with a great pass across there. And Jacob Kausch with a little redirect here, and that's a huge goal for the Spartans on that one, Andy.
Yeah, huge goal. Jacob Kausch, who continues to come up big, like I said, for DeSmet. But guys, I've been a part of this game for a long time, and I know you have as well, Jamie, and it's great to have you with us, Patrick. You're doing an unbelievable job in these 2 games here tonight. But this is one of the best championship games that I've seen in quite some time. I mean, 2 evenly matched teams, great goaltending, the support that both teams get on the bench for one another has been great. Not a whole lot of trash talk going on the ice either. And, they're emptying the tank, and it's been a lot of fun to watch both these teams lay it on the line for their respective schools and trying to bring home a Mid-States high school championship. I want to give a shout out because I know they're watching in Ottawa right now. John Kelly, Patrick, your dad is watching, and of course the voice of the Blues on Fox Sports Midwest. Joe Vitale is watching. We've got Mike Caruso and Timmy Pabst and Phil Malika, who's also watching back in Ottawa, certainly enjoying this one in the capital city in Canada.
Gotta wonder, Joey Vitale, CBC grad, who he's cheering for in this one.
Joey Broadcaster, he's probably got his hands tied together. He doesn't want to cheer for either of these teams, I'm sure.
But it goes to show you the support that, high school hockey and youth hockey in general gets from everybody, not just the students and the people who are involved in the game today, but those who once played Mid-States high school hockey. It's in their blood.
SLUH is ready, and DeSmet's ready, rather. SLUH still all on the bench. Long talking to as Dobis retreats into his net, and he's set for this overtime period.
Yeah, you can tell that, these teams, their coaching staffs are always hard at work. And, Chris Durso is going over things with Casey Ott right next to him, and Jack Bean talking to his crew. So these guys aren't going to leave anything on the table here. They're going to make sure that their players are well prepared. And, these young guys, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. You're playing in the championship game. You're going to overtime. You have 2 of the biggest student bodies that come out and represent your school and cheer you on. We're doing the game, so there's video proof of this game for later on in life. They can show their kids, grandkids. Just a fantastic night. As you said, Andy, it's amazing to be a part of these things, and this is truly one of the best games that I've had a chance to to work in.
And you know what stood out for me was being outside the DeSmet dressing room after the second period and talking to their head coach, Kurt Sturso, and watching the players walk by, was just how poised his team was. They weren't nervous, they were under control, and they knew they were one shot away, and that proved to be true as they were able to tie this up. And when you have a goaltender like Jakob Dobis, it gives you a lot of confidence, and DeSmet has certainly fed off of that. And Brendan Rash has been just as good. He's made some huge saves for the Billikens. Simoncic has been good, but no surprise who's coming out now for the Billikens.
As the opening draw goes the way of SLUH, we are underway in this sudden death overtime period. DeSmet able to work it out of their own end. Couch has a lot of space. He's going to go cross ice with it, then backhands it in, and he'll race after it. Knocked off the boards by SLUH, unable to push it forward, so Wagner will just send it back to DiMaggio. DiMaggio long pass to Simoncic, sends it in, and Dobis will settle that. Good play by Estes, cycled it back for Abel. And now Estes again. This time he'll skate with it down the right wing, trying to move it up to Couch. That's going to go off his body and all the way down as Mullen threw it in front. No one was home though for the Spartans. Back at the point. As Smet tried to push that forward, instead it's going to go right back to them. It's Vito Biondo passing forward to Lockman. Lockman into the zone, takes a shot, and that's going to be a wrist shot that is saved by Rash.
Yeah, you know, in overtime, guys, never a bad play to put that puck on net. Obviously, you know, nerves are high at this point, and goalies are humans too. And you put that puck on net, it can find a home, or it can take a crazy bounce. And we see Lockman here just doing that exact thing, puts it on net. We have Lotus going to the net, causing some havoc, so not a bad play ever.
SLUH wins the draw in their own end. Able to knock off the boards forward. Goes off a Spartan body, so it goes into the near side boards in the DeSmet end of the ice. Trying to send it forward. Good play to Lockman, who pushes up the glass, but Lockwood is there. He's just going to send it back in. Lockwood trying to find him. Instead, taking over. SLUH in front, and no one can get a hold of it as that was lifted just a bit too high, but the Junior Billikens briefly keep it in until it's cleared out by the Spartans all the way down. No icing though. So a break for DeSmet. All the way in, racing after his Kampminer. Didn't look like he had a lock left in the tank as Biondo can't grab that. SLUH racing now. Able to win it to this near side. DiMaggio can't grab it. Cycled behind the net. It'll be a race for it, and get in there is Gabe Schwartz. Schwartz looking towards the point. He'll use it. Jacoby the shot, and that goes wide. Now DiMaggio a long wrister, and that goes high over the net. Jacoby racing back. He's in the zone, and two SLUH Billikens collide as they dig for it. Wagner comes away with it. Wagner has DiMaggio, instead stays with it. Takes a long shot, and a good save by Dobis.
Well, that's good pressure there by the Junior Bills. Their top dogs are out on the ice creating havoc here for DeSmet. But, you know, the thing that I go back to in these overtimes, Andy, is they got the long change. So if you get stuck out there, it can get pretty dangerous.
Yeah, there's no question. But you look here, all the shots are coming from the outside, Jamie. DeSmet doing a great job not allowing SLUH to penetrate the middle of the ice and get close to the goaltender and get a higher quality scoring chance. I mean, he's going to make those saves from the outside every time, as we saw.
DeSmet able to win the draw in their own end. Went to Estes. Estes backhands it off the boards and smacked out of the zone by Couch, but right back in. SLUH sends it. Racing after it. Estes quickly working, trying to get it to Couch. Bounces past him and goes to Lockwood. Lockwood loses it to DeSmet. The Spartans head right back in. Here's Carson Wilhelm. He had the assist on the tying goal. Gets knocked off the puck. And taking over with it is Bivol. Thrown towards the net by the Spartans from the point, and that gets deflected wide, but here comes Lockwood. Lockwood down the left wing into the zone. Cuts to the middle in the slot. Backhander that got deflected wide. Now Lockwood again going off for a change. Now instead it goes to Michael Mullen, a one-on-one. Mullen in the shot, and that goes wide. He looked for the rebound slap shot right off the boards. Couldn't get it, so here comes Wagner. Leaves it for Schwartz. Gabe Schwartz going wide with it, looking in front, and a good extension by Dobis to knock that puck off his stick. Jacoby now a long wrist shot, and Dobis gets the save and then gives a little punch to Henry Wagner, sending him down to the ground.
A good intensity there by two teammates, Andy.
That's right. I mean, these guys are good friends. They play together on the same club team, and again, that's exactly where Wagner wants to be, though, right in the kitchen of Jakob Dobis. But again, it's his size. He's able to look on top of Wagner. You know, some goaltenders like to get down on that crouch. He stayed up tall, and he was able to find the puck, locate it, and make the save.
Jacoby tipped on net and went right on to Dobis, and he was able to hold on. But SLUH is turning up the pressure in this past minute.
Are they ever? I mean, that's a great look right there, Jamie, from Jacoby. I mean, finding a forward all alone at the strong side of the net, and a great deflection right on net. And again, no rebound from Dobis.
Well, face-offs here is the key, gentlemen. Face-offs.
Tied by the dot goes to Simonsik. Loses it to Jack Estes. Estes, the outlet pass, and here's a 3-on-2 for DeSmet. Kelly Coldwater in. He throws it towards the net, looking for a rebound from Kinzel. Instead, thrown towards the net by Abel, and Rash will be forced to hold on to it.
Well, you have those zone entries, and DeSmet has a 3-on-2 on that one there.
Yep.
They have to have a middle lane drive.
Didn't have it at all.
Yeah, they got to get somebody crashing the net. They ended up going flaring out wide on that play, and it made it you know, an easy play for the defense, and then we end up with a shot from way out wide on Rash, and that won't work.
That was Coldwater. His uncle played for Parkway South. Good player, Kelly Coldwater. His coach was Jack Bean, who's down on the other bench coaching SLUH.
SLUH wins the face-off, tried to send an outlet pass forward toward Nicky, but it's going to go all the way down for an icing.
This is where it gets stressful for a coach. How you utilize your bench, your rotation. How short of a bench do you want to have? I mean, you want to throw your big guys out there, players who are responsible, but then fatigue starts to set in. You don't want to make a mistake as a coach in terms of who you're putting out there in what situation.
Smet wins it to the far side. Kent Minor keeping it in. Tie it behind the SLUH net goes the way of Lockwood. He's able to push it out. Cleared all the way in. Dobis settles it with his stick, and under some pressure decides to hold on to it as he couldn't decide where to go with it.
Yeah,
Smart play.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that play at all. And Dobis, who's a phenomenal puck handler, by the way, who scored a goal this year playing club hockey, which is rare in itself, but he makes a great decision there and just frees the puck, get a whistle. Now, once again, it's going to come down to face-offs here. DeSmet has to start winning these D-zone draws.
Whitehouse takes the draw against Mullen. Mullen able to win that back to Kampminer. He's immediately tied up against the boards. Good poke forward, able to find Coldwater. Coldwater looking for Kinzel, but that bounces over his stick. No icing as it goes into the corner. Kinzel able to get there. Kicks it to his forehand. Sends it back to the point. Kampminer, a long wrist shot, and that just barely misses wide. Now Mullen able to slap down the stick. Goes to Coldwater, the shot, and that was blocked in front by Hazelton. Now in the corner again, this time thrown towards the net by the Spartans, and a good glove by Rash slows it down.
I've really liked Kinzel's game all night. I talked about the energy early on, and you know, you talk about players getting more and more ice time as the game goes on, and that's where, as a coach, you got to have a feel. Who's going and who's not, and Kelly Coldwater earning more and more ice time as this game has progressed. Started deep on the rotation, now we're starting to see him out there more, and again, he simplifies things and putting pucks on net. But again, Kinzel, standout lacrosse player. I said baseball earlier. That's Abel, who's the lefty. Kinzel, really good lacrosse player, one of the best in the area.
Couch sends it in front, the shot in the winner just from Mullen goes wide. Oh, what an unbelievable opportunity for the Challenge Cup. Instead, Abel heads in, gets around a man, Trying to poke it forward was Rash. Stick down by Kinzel, but that's going to be a high stick, and it's going to come out of the zone.
Well, referees here, looks like they're going to let the players decide this one. You know, we have Abel stick handling through the D there and driving through. And he might have gotten hauled down a little, but as we see the replay here, a little turnover, great little backhand pass by Jacob Kausch, and our buddy Michael Mullen just missing the winner on that one.
Smet wins the draw, or SLUH wins the draw. Wait, goes in front of that blocker save by Dobis. Still in the offensive end is SLUH. Able to get some open space to DiMaggio. Over to the far side, Jacoby, a long shot. Rebound, and that went across the crease, but it couldn't go. Two unbelievable opportunities on both sides, and Estes is just going to send it off the boards back to center. Good hit by Mullen on Jacoby. Goes to Simonsek, he clears it in, and he's going to go off for a change as the Spartans grab it back behind their own net. Looking for Kausch up by the penalty box. That's going to go out of play for a whistle.
Guys, what a chance by Henry Wagner just a few moments ago, and just an unbelievable chance. We see this shot from Jacoby. Again, traffic in front. Dobis is able to find it. You got Wagner there. Puck just slides just underneath him. Just before that, he had a wrist shot. I thought he could have shot through traffic, and maybe Dobis wouldn't have been able to pick it up. Took another step to the middle of the ice, and an unreal blocker save from Dobis.
Kampminer gets his stick lifted, and SLUH takes over. At the point, a long shot taken in. Dobis once again with a big save.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, the Junior Bills have turned up the heat here in this overtime period, and the shots were relatively close as we headed in, and now it's 25-18 for the Junior Bills. DeSmet Spartans here really relying on Jacob Dobis, as we see here. Great little shot from the point. Warnicki driving the net. Dobis, no rebound again.
Type in the draw, one back by Wilhelm. Gets to Kampminer and then push forward for Lotus. Benjamin Lotus sends it off the boards, racing in after it is Allstick. He peeled off, but that was an icing on the Spartans.
I want to give a shout out to Billy Wagner, who's the younger brother of Henry Wagner. He's a freshman who's home with the flu. He's unable to play in this game, and you know that's got to hurt. Obviously, he'd love to be here with his older brother in his last Mid-States game, but they wanted to keep him away from the rest of the team. Probably a smart move when you have the flu, but that can't be easy for the young freshman, Billy Wagner.
Offense in zone draw, one again by SLUH. This shot taken by Jacoby is deflected and goes out of play.
Well, you know, DeSmet has done a little bit better job on a couple of these face-offs, guys, but the theme here throughout this game, and especially late in this game and in overtime, SLUH is dominating the face-off circle.
Yeah.
And, you know, we just watched this as Wagner coming over the boards again, Simonsek and Schwartz. These guys have been, you know, almost flawless on the face-off. So DeSmet better buckle down here, guys.
Schwartz tried to push that pass back, but Wagner finds it. On the near side boards, gets knocked off the puck, but sends it down to Gabe Schwartz, and Simonsek helping out, but Schwartz is able to poke that over to the boards. Back Jacoby, takes a long shot, traffic save, and another save by Dobis. Again, Jacoby, this time to Simonsek for the hat trick, and that got deflected wide. Loose in the circle. Spartans try and slap away at it. They finally are able to get it out. But Henry Wagner grabs it and backhands it back in. They'll go off for a change. Just sends it off the boards, goes right to DiMaggio, but taken right back by Mullen. Michael Mullen in, takes a shot blocked by DiMaggio's shin pad. And SLUH is able to push that back. Here's a 2-on-1 opportunity, and he had it broken up as he tried to cut to the inside. And here comes the Spartans. Back and forth action we go. A good hit by Kausch. Trying to get to Mullen, instead just move back to the point. and thrown over into the corner. And it's being tied up is Lockwood by Mullen. Joining in there is Kinzel. Finally able to poke it away, taking it away is Bavol. And then taken right back by DeSmet. They threw it towards the net, but that's going to go all the way around the boards and out of the zone. Biondo sent it in. And DiMaggio off the boards. Good touch by DeSmet. They're on sides, and here they come. Biondo in, the shot, and a glove save by Brendan Rash.
Well, that's a good play there by Vito Biondo. Steps up, cuts off the pass, gets a shot on net. We're inside a minute and a half here as we see Vito coming in. Little wrist shot, no rebound. Great save by the goalie, not giving any secondary chances to the Spartans on that play.
It was Mario DiMaggio who turned the puck over there for SLUH. He's a freshman. This guy's going to be a really good player, as well as Vito, two of the better young freshmen in the league.
SLUH wins the draw on their own end. Simonsik streaking forward, and as he entered the zone, Wagner was caught offside with just 73 seconds left in overtime.
Well, this is intense to say the least, gentlemen. You can tell that these student bodies are excited, but everyone's kind of, you know, quieting down a little bit. You can feel the stress in the building.
Neutral zone draw won by SLUH. Tried to move it to their defenseman, instead grabbed by DeSmet. Cleared in the zone by Lotus. Junior Billikens work it up this near side. Wagner, a long lead pass, finds Simonsik. With 1 minute left, Simonsik into the zone, knocked off the puck by Jack Estes. And then grabbing possession right back is the Spartans. Lotus tried to hold on to it, but Lockwood takes over. Spins around in his own end, then a pass up to Gabe Schwartz. Schwartz going low, tried to throw it in front, sticked aside by Estes, and right back to SLUH, who sends it in. Looking to feed Mullen at the point, or Kausch rather, can't do so. Kept in the zone by SLUH. They cut in, and a great diving play to break that play up.
Thought Warnicki could have pulled the trigger.
As Kausch lifts it forward. Back for the Spartans, just 15 seconds left. Michael Mullen. And Kausch took a shot that went off his skate, just barely kept in with 5 seconds left. Kausch sends it to the corner and dumped all the way down. And after 55 minutes of action, we still do not have a winner.
I'll tell you what, guys, fatigue will now start to come into play here. Both benches have exhausted their first and second lines and their top players. So we're going to see here, Andy, it's going to be gut check time for all these guys.
Yeah, and this is where we haven't talked a whole lot about it, but of course at the mid-states level, they're not scraping the ice. So the ice isn't in great condition right now when you consider they only scraped it once after the second period. We had the third period, we had the first overtime session. So now we got another overtime session coming up. So you got to be careful. Don't try to make overplay the puck. Try to be too pretty with it, because often it's just going to be a simple play, an innocent play. I'm trying to listen to Jack Bean also talk to the officials to my right. He's unhappy with the officials, but how you manage the puck is so crucial in a sudden death situation. Looks like Jack Bean is trying to get in the ear of the official. I don't think he's going to get any calls at this stage of the game. I think the officials have done a pretty good job, to be honest with you, especially during the course of the overtime, letting the players play.
Yeah, you don't want to have the referees dictate the game at this point. I mean, unless it's a clear-cut goal-scoring opportunity or something really vicious, I think these referees are going to let the players figure this out, and as they should. You know, these guys have battled hard all year, all through the playoffs. They've got themselves to the biggest stage available in the St. Louis area here at the Enterprise Center. Let these kids figure it out. You know, it's going to be interesting to see here, certainly, as we head into double overtime. Like I said earlier, the fatigue, the ice, the little decisions, and one thing for sure, Andy, you cannot pass up a chance to shoot the puck.
Yeah, and we saw that late in the first overtime session there. I mean, I thought Warnicki maybe could have shot the puck, tried to make an extra move, and again, the ice isn't really conducive to be able to do that. Not to say it's terrible. I mean, this is the best ice you're going to find in St. Louis, but still, when you played on it as much as they have here tonight, and you don't get the scrape, you don't get that luxury of the scrape after the third period or the overtime, obviously it's not going to be in the best condition. Want to welcome everybody who's watching the St. Louis Blues Facebook feed or on Twitter or on the YouTube channel. I hope you've enjoyed this one as much as we have. This has been unbelievable here live at the Enterprise Center.
Yeah, it certainly has been a great game, and it's been a great night for all of us involved, and a big thank you to St. Louis Blues. Like Andy said, you know, they're live streaming this on the YouTube channel, Facebook Live, and Twitter as well. So big supporters of youth hockey in the community here. They're growing the game every day. Tom Stillman and his staff do a fantastic job of continuing to grow the sport of hockey and create this fan base that we have here in St. Louis. So we're lucky to have all these guys around.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And the St. Louis Blues really were a pioneer organization back in the day with the Ferrara family in terms of creating relationships with youth hockey and really building the game at the grassroots level. And now we're seeing every team pretty much in the National Hockey League doing that in their local market. All right, Jamie, here, double overtime. What do you want to see, and what do you think the message is from the coaching staff for each respective team?
Well, I think the number one thing here is defensively to take away the middle of the ice. Don't give them easy opportunities. Work the walls, chip it out, chip it in. You get a chance inside the offensive blue line. You have to have that forward or that player driving the net, and you got to get pucks to the net. You got to force these goalies to make saves, and if they leave a rebound or something like that, you can clean up the garbage. But to me, that's how this thing's going to play out.
And to start double overtime, the Spartans will win the draw. Sending it all the way forward, looking for Mullen. It was tipped, so no icing. Back to grab it for SLUH's DiMaggio. Coldwater steals it. A wrist shot from the boards. Gets deflected off Rash. And back to center. Spartans looking for the quick turnaround. They can't do it. Kinzel touched along, looking for Coldwater. Instead, it's going to be Couch. Now Coldwater has to step forward. Loose puck tipped forward by the Spartans and then kept in by Kinzel. He'll just throw it to some open ice. Nobody was in the zone though for DeSmet. So SLUH's just going to chip it all the way down, and that's going to go right on to Dobis, who has to play it. Touched in by Coldwater, and DeSmet goes off for a change. Jack Hazelton hard off the boards, able to find Bavul. Heads in and then getting there first. Those Wilhelm who try to push that more towards the point. He does so, but it's kept in over to Hazelton. A wrist shot, and they score! Through heavy traffic, Hazelton has done it. And for the third time, SLUH are the champions of Missouri State hockey.
Well, there it is, Andy. Pucks to the net, traffic in front. Nothing the DeSmet goaltender could do on that play. Congratulations to the Junior Bills. Congratulations to DeSmet. A hard-fought hockey game here tonight, and as we expected, it's a shot on net or a play that ordinarily maybe you don't make that play, but double overtime, Andy, you take that shot.
You absolutely do, Jamie. I mean, you get an opportunity to shoot, you let it go. And again, bodies in front. We talk about attacking the front of the net, getting traffic in front of Dobis. You know you're not going to beat him with a clean shot. And the deflection was there, and they were able to get it past the DeSmet goaltender, who was unbelievable in this hockey game. What a game. What a game.
It's always an interesting sight at the end of these games as you look at one end and the team is celebrating with their student body and they're going nuts and it's the greatest time of their life, and then you look at the other end and you see, you know, a team that's upset and sad and down, and players that are, you know, physically you can see them that they're upset, and that's always weird to me, the contrast of that. That's the, I guess that's the wonderful thing of sports, is the agony and the ecstasy, gentlemen.
And that's the hardest part, to look at the DeSmet bench and look at the players, obviously not only physically but mentally exhausted as well. Here's the overtime winner, Hazelton. Quick shot, bodies in front. There were 2 bodies there.
Doesn't look like that got tipped. It looks clean all the way through.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see here on the official call if that actually goes off of another Billiken player or if it went off maybe the DeSmet defender. But, you know, it's always one of those wacky, weird kind of plays that happen, and it almost had to be something like that to beat Jacob Dobis tonight. You know, I think it has to be mentioned that Justin Reynolds, who was the first player off the bench from DeSmet, walking in his street clothes over to tap his teammates on the shoulder and tap Jacob Dobis on the pad. So tough loss for these guys. They had a great season, did a fantastic job to get here to the finals and to drag this to double overtime nonetheless. So congratulations has to go out to Chris Durso and his DeSmet Spartans. But you know what? SLUH Junior Bills champions again, Patrick.
Guys, I believe they credited that goal to Trey Lyons, who got the stick on it for the Billikens off the Hazelton point shot. And if you look at the replay, how quickly Hazelton got the puck off. He wasted no time. And again, a smart play by the Billikens to get to the front of the net. But Trey Lyons, the junior, 7 goals, 5 assists coming into this game, gets his 8th. And here's the quick shot, just a wrist shot. And they give the goal to Trey Lyons, number 25, if we can see his stick. Just gets a piece of it.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job on that goal, getting bodies to the net. And it'd be interesting to see if Coach Bean had directed them that way, Andy.
And now they go through the line, one of the best traditions in sports. A lot of these guys, teammates, great friends.
You got enough time?
And definitely a lot of emotions down that handshake line right now.
Yeah, it's always great to see the sportsmanship involved in this, especially at the high school level. You know, these guys are all they're student athletes representing their school, and it's always great to see this. They're both congratulating each other. Tough loss for sure for DeSmet, but SLUH doing a great job being a top class high school in this city and congratulating and being sympathetic at the same time.
So 13, 18, and now 19 can be added to that for the SLUH Junior Billikens, as they have defeated them 3-2. As we announce, it's going to be Patrick Simoncic who is going to be announced as the MVP of the Challenge Cup. 2 goals on the night, 2 goals and 1 assist in the semis of Game 2 leading up to this, and obviously a giant part of this SLUH title.
Yeah, we'll see if our own Andy Strickland can catch up to Simoncic down there, who's going to be our MVP. But yes, fantastic job by him tonight. Fantastic job by him all season, really. But big game player. Andy called it. Said this guy delivers in the playoffs, and he didn't disappoint tonight. He had a couple of chances at the same time to get that 3rd goal. So a huge win for the team and a great MVP effort by our guy here, Patrick Simoncic, and a night he'll remember for a long time.
They're just about finishing the handshake line here. Coaches meeting up head to head as Spartans heading out. And then we're going to send it down to Andy Strickland as Andy is with, or has an interview. Andy?
All right, I'm with Patrick Simoncic, and first off, what is it about you in big games, especially in this building where you come up big?
You know, I actually wore the same clothes I did last year, so I hope that helped. But we knew it was going to be a battle tonight. We got a great team. We got a lot of depth. A lot of boys that wanted to win back-to-back for the first time in their school history. It was just such a battling team. After last year, we lost so many guys. A whole new squad, and we came back and did it again. It was unbelievable.
What was said on the bench over the course of not only the first overtime, but in between the 2 overtime sessions to get you guys continue to be locked in mentally?
It was just keep wearing them down. they're going to get tired. We just got to keep wearing them down. We thought we were in better shape than them.
How good was your goaltender? How good was their goaltender?
It was a great game by both goalies. Both are great kids. You know, I played club with Dobis. Rash played great. Dobie played great. It was a fun game.
Enjoy it with your teammates. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Jamie and Patrick, back to you.
And that was the MVP, Patrick Simonsek, 2 goals in a winning effort in SLUH as the 2019 Challenge Cup champions.
Yeah, what an accomplishment. You know, it's like Andy said, they had a championship team last year, and I believe Andy mentioned that it was only 5 players returning from that roster. And as great as their roster looks this year, that's a big change. That's a lot of turnover. That's a lot of fresh faces, a lot of young players. So the future has to look bright for this team. It really does. I mean, if they had only 5 guys returning, it means they got a lot of guys who should be around for a long time. And Coach Jack Bean maybe looking at even more championships down the road. And certainly a great feat for this hockey club.
So we're going to send it down to Bob Carroll as it's become official as Patrick Simonsek is the MVP.
Patrick Simonsek, your MVP for tonight's thrilling St. Louis Blues Challenge Cup championship game.
Well, as we get the
Our
hardware
next
out
order of
here,
business, we'd ask the
we
captain.
noticed that our own Andy Strickland is down there with championship winning coach Jack Bean, who Andy should have some nicer things to say about me this time.
You know, I was joking with you after the second period about your blood pressure. Now, how's your blood pressure?
Well, it's a lot better right now than it was about 15 minutes ago.
Jack, unbelievable hockey game,
It was a
wasn't it?
great hockey game. You know, you got to tip your hat, first of all, to Smet. They played a great opponent, and you know, we just kept wearing them down. I thought when they tied the game, there's 1 or 2 things that could have happened in that third period. There were 7.5 minutes to go. And from that point on, we took over control of the game, and we just kept going, and we just never gave up, and I'm really proud of my guys.
When you're a part of a game like this, knowing a bad bounce or a bad angle shot can end the game, what's your biggest concern?
Exactly. I mean, you just hope it's not a fluky deal, but I mean, you know, we worked really hard all week, the last couple of weeks, honestly, getting shots from the point, getting traffic, and that's how we scored that goal to win a state championship. Is awesome.
Simonsek is a guy who's come up big on the big stage before. What is it about the big stage in him?
This is his ice. You know, he had a goal and assist last year, and he had, you know, a couple tonight, and I mean, he loves the moment.
Tell us what this means for your program. First time in program history you win back-to-back championships.
Well, you know, we've won 3 now total, but 2 in a row, and I mean, it's a great accomplishment. What's really cool is there's only half a dozen kids here who played in this game last year that have played here tonight for me. And, you know, and so it's a whole new group of kids. And, you know, we had some familiar names, I'm sure, but a whole different group of role players and stuff. And they just really, really came through big for us all year.
Jack, congratulations. Go enjoy it.
Thanks, Andy.
Riz, Patrick, back to you.
As you see, Simonsek taking the Challenge Cup around, celebrating with his teammates. And what an unbelievable game it was. One of the best Challenge Cups we've seen in recent memory.
Yeah, I mean, Andy mentioned it earlier. This is arguably the best game that we've had in the state championship game. And for myself, working these games, this is the best one we've had. And a really hard-fought game. You know, you knew it was going to come down to not a wacky play, but a play that you know, was a deflection, a rebound, something like that. And that's exactly what happened. And you feel bad for the DeSmet players and the goalie. So I'm sure he's taking it hard as we see him still, you know, upset on the ice. But credit has to be given out to both programs. I can't say enough about these coaching staffs and these players and the schools. So it certainly reflects well on the city of St. Louis.
So it looks like we have Andy Strickland down, and he's with Jacob Dobies. Andy, take over.
I don't think it would be right, guys, if we didn't talk to Jacob Dobas. Unbelievable hockey game by you. I know you haven't lived here in the city or even in the country that long. What did you learn about this event and this game, playing in it for the first time here tonight?
First couple minutes I was kind of nervous because those guys already played last year here, so they have more experience. But after we tied up the second one, I think I make a better saves. I keep it on myself so much more. And I think we played better the first period, but we didn't score, and that's hockey, and it's the second overtime, and it's do or die. I'm not that mad, like we lost. Of course, I'm so sad about it, but in the second overtime lose versus this team like SLUH, the second times championship, I think me, our team, our coaches, everyone, our fans, don't be shine about like we lost. We made pretty good result, and we have pretty good game. We was just not more lucky like them.
What was the key to staying locked in, especially the play where the puck went post to post, to hit both posts? Take us through that play, Jacob.
I know the guy was there, but I saw the guy was looking at the puck. He have head down, so I try to put there my stick and try to take the pass and don't give him the space to shot. But he was lucky and he beat me, but I was lucky at the shot, and there was post, my pad, post, whatever, and we was luckier, so I think it was lucky and lucky.
All right, congratulations. You played great. You got a great career ahead of you, too. All right, that's Jakob Dobis. Let's go back to you guys.
In an unbelievable game, and one thing about DeSmet you have to point out, the second that game ends, the first person everybody is consoling is Jacob Dobis, and he deserved it. He played lights out tonight.
Yeah, and I think it has to be mentioned here that this is a kid that came over, beginning of last school year and barely spoke English. Now, he's a really intelligent kid, and obviously it shows he's picked up the language pretty darn good. And I've played overseas, and it's not easy to pick up other languages. So him being able to do that, and him showing the pride that he had in his school, and it really describing exactly what it was, that it was a great moment for the DeSmet program to take a team like SLUH to double overtime. I think he really captured the moment well in his interview with Andy there. So Patrick, thank you very much for having me tonight. Thank you to the St. Louis Blues again for bringing us this broadcast, and all the people who made it possible behind the scenes that came here on what should have been a night off for them, and helping us get through this battle and into double overtime. But was a real pleasure doing this, and congratulations to the SLUH Junior Bills on another state championship.
Yeah, we're done.